We got a little lake behind us here, no more than 20, 30 acres. It's early ice. We're gonna break down kind of how to dissect a lake like this, from finding if there's even fish in here to trying to target the bigger fish. So come take along, it should be a good time. One of the first lakes to freeze up, and let's get after it. Walk around, flash the holes, see if you find any marks. If not, we drill another area, but I got a feeling we're gonna find some fish. So. If you can see behind me, it's a steep bank. Now this lake has no navionics charts, no contours, nothing. So what you wanna look for, to start off at least, is a steep bank. Most of these lakes will have, if they have a deep hole, will be along a steep bank like that. Now on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have this side over here that kind of goes into more like a slough. So if I had to guess, obviously nobody knows yet, but that would be the area where it would kind of come up to a flat. Now, if there is more of an uprising contour there, I'm gonna guess there's a lot more mud over there and less actual weed lines or any kind of hard bottom. So we're gonna stick to the basin for now and then veer off to the nearest steep shoreline. Early in the morning, especially, and late at night, those bigger fish will run up and down the steepest shoreline along that basin. A lot of guys will go just drill out the basin, which obviously can work probably 70% of the time, but eventually we're gonna wanna target big fish, not just the schools of fish. So concentrate along the steeper banks, and then the transition areas between each corner off the steeper bank into like a flat or something should be about perfect. So ideally, I mean, I bring a lot of different rods to choose from, obviously, to match what you're doing. The first thing I'm gonna look for probably is a 24-inch ultralight. We're just looking for panfish. So this is the Special Ocean Widowmaker. I'm a sucker for these reels, the one-to-ones. The Black Betties are tried and true. The 1-to-1 gear ratio, some people don't care for, but I'm only fishing I'm in 15 feet of water right now, and I'm going down maybe 10 feet. So I have no problem stripping line off really quick. Now, I may see a flicker on the bottom, but I'm not even gonna bother with the fish that are that low. I mean, I'm not walleye fishing, I'm looking for those specifically bigger marks on top of the schools, the aggressive ones, the ones that are willing to, climb 6, 8 feet to come eat you. So when I put a lure down there and I don't want to, I'm trying to figure out if the school is still around, I'm gonna be jigging it semi-aggressively, kind of where I expect them to pop up. Put your bait where you think they're gonna be, not with the little flicker you see on the bottom, because often that can be perch or rock bass or anything, you can imagine. There it is. That's a panfish. That should be a little bit better. That high mark. Oh, it's a crappie. Yeah. Come on, man. So definitely the aggressive one in that group. This isn't necessarily the size we're looking for, but in these small bodies of water, it can be tricky finding big fish, because there's a lot of fish usually, but in this small body of water, they can get stunted almost a little bit. They don't have enough room to grow. So we should be able to tell by just looking at the bluegills if they have enough room to grow, but a healthy crappie for sure. Ugh. Here comes another one. Freight train. Ooh, he's got a little pull to him. Oh, it's a good bluegill. I always get wrapped up around the deucer. So that's a really good sign. Obviously, when you have fish that are that on top of the school here, that are that aggressive, we could be in for a good day. That isn't a trophy by any means, but that's a really solid gill. I'm guessing that's upwards to 7.5, 8 inches. But what I look for, which gives me promise, geez, this uppercut hook, man. I tell you, for bluegills, especially because they're smaller mouths, once they eat something like this, the uppercut, you can't get it out. So what this tells me is, look at the fish. See his forehead here? You see how it isn't all the way up to the front? He doesn't have he has a pretty good forehead, but not a crazy tall forehead. Fish that are long and skinnier in a body of water like this, that kind of get their 8, 9 inches out of just length and not really boldness and thickness, with a big forehead, that knows, it's more of a sign that they might be stunted. They can't really grow. If they start getting tall and fat like that, that means the forage is there. And there's the potential for, one of those bull bluegills, one with the big old foreheads that get almost as tall as they're long. So really good sign, and I think we're off to a good start. So this is a 32nd ounce dude. I got a little Jeffrey on there. They're cut perfectly, they're fine, the plastic consistency is right. In terms of durability and what you can do with one plastic versus having to swap out a bunch of Eurolarva or a bunch of other plastics is incredible. And plus, again, the way they look and the little undulation, so to speak, is crazy. So match with a little uppercut hook. There aren't too many panfish that are gonna say no to this thing. This is gonna be a good hook set, but here he comes. Oh, he isn't very big. Should it come in hot though? See, that fish was almost on the bottom and came up, which I'm not here to say that every lake is the same way. where the fish on top are the most aggressive and the ones on bottom aren't, but just about I don't know, 70% of the time, it's those high cruisers. And then you see one maybe another 5 feet on top of the school mark come up, that's either a big pike cruising or like a freakishly big crappie. And that's kind of what I'm hoping we get into here. Look, they're gonna come up and crush it. That's a little better one. Oh, there's a crappie. Oh, see how fast he came up like that? Here, buddy. That isn't a bad crappie. That might be about as big as they get in a body water this size. He's probably pushing about 13 inches, maybe a little more than that. But absolutely inhaled it. Absolutely crushed it. Obviously they can get bigger, but it's a good fish.